Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Terra Tech. And on tonight's episode, we are going to be continuing where we left off. Now, I went ahead between this episode and the last one. I designed a new bot over here. In fact, let me click on him so we can go into build mode, and I'll show you what he looks like right here. And this is him right here. You can see he has no wheels on him, which does mean exactly what you might think it does. He has the hover pads on there. Now, I did make him slightly too heavy, and the hover pads were pretty expensive. In fact, let me see if I can find them real quick, and I'll show you. They are, actually, I'm going to have to go to the actual shop, which is right next to me, just in case I needed to buy anything. They are 558 big bucks a piece, and it was flying pretty good. I did need to put a few more of these, horn steering boos on there, just so that I have a little bit more control over which way they roll, left or right, and back and forward, and things of that sort. But I put some boosters on there. You can see I have plenty of boosters. Definitely has the speed when it finally gets going, and the fans definitely help it go as well. These turbines in the back. I went ahead and put some big batteries on there, and I also put some of the big guns on there because I wanted to be kind of an aggressive bot. I wanted to kind of swoop into combat and swoop out of combat very, very quickly. Let me cover this guy up because you just never know when somebody's going to land a lucky shot right there. So I want him to be covered up a little bit better than he is right now. And let me put one block right there just for aesthetic reasons. And that is pretty good. But like I said, he's too heavy. When I enter or exit build mode, it just slaps right there onto the ground. And there's not much I can do about it. I do need a little bit more money so I can buy a few more of those. Or if I get lucky enough, maybe I could make a few more of those. But I wouldn't hold my breath on that one because the ingredients, I don't know what they were. I'd have to go back and watch that video, and I haven't done that just yet. And, even if I did know what the ingredients were, pretty sure I'm not going to be able to find a whole bunch of them. You never know what you're going to find when you come out here. Yeah, some of these items do seem to regrow fairly quickly. I'm going to avoid the trees this time because that's one thing that was kind of clogging up my system a little bit more than normal is those trees. I don't really need the wood. Like the wood is not something that I've used on anything. The rubber and the oil, that stuff is used in a few things. Is that a bad guy? I think it is. I think it is a bad guy. And I don't know why I don't have a radar unit on this bot right here. In fact, let me go ahead and see if I can snag one of those real quick because I know I have a whole bunch of them. I just put it onto the new guy I designed, and I don't know why this guy still doesn't have one. There we go. So let me go ahead and put that right on top where it's very vulnerable and doesn't really make any sense to leave it there, but that's all right. It's better than nothing. We're going to bring this guy out here, and I'm going to take control of my combat guy right here, if it will let me. There we go. And we're going to come out here and get rid of this guy because he's too close. Way too close to my base. Just kind of spawned right there, apparently. And it looks like he has no wheels, but he actually does. Man, he's going to make a mess. I just cleaned this area up, guys. You gotta be kidding me, guys. Got to be kidding me. Oh, man, I can never keep this area clean, never. They just don't want a clean area. That's all it comes down to. They like the mess, they like the fuss, and I'm just going to have to deal with it. I'm just going to have to get used to, unless I can create a whole bunch of these little dudes. If I can create some, like, automated bots that will go out there and gather up all the, loose bricks and loose blocks and, everything else that's out here, then that will be a thing. And they can just come back every so often. I can, take control of them and have them, do their thing. But for now, yeah, this is as close as I can get to it. Let me zoom out a little bit. I'll move it a little bit further over here so it picks up the majority of those items. I'm going to leave it there for now while I go off and collect a few more, items. I don't really like selling any of these things right now because, for one, you really don't make a lot of money off of them anymore. They used to sell for quite a bit on some of these, especially like the Geocore ones were just, those were the blocks to get because not only did you want those to be able to build stuff with, but they were worth quite a bit of a fortune. The diamond tip drills, those were definitely worth quite a bit of money, but they sound like they would be. They're diamond tipped. So they did, they made sense in that regard. One of your blocks are under attack. I'm guessing they're talking about the blocks off to the left and not my base. I'm going to be okay with that. They can destroy those if they want. I'm not going in there to defend it with this guy. This guy is definitely not the bot that is capable of doing that, even with the small ones. Because we've done that before. We've gone in there and we've we tried defending that stuff, and he doesn't do too well. Like, he has some weak points, and the bots, they know where those are, and they go after him. So I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna let them destroy it if they so see fit. But yeah, I can always buy more of those. This thing, it took a little while to build. It takes a little while to get going, and yeah, I think he's worth more than a base that I got for free anyways. So let's leave that alone. Some of you guys may disagree with that and be like, "No, go over there and save it, get it back." But yeah, I'm not gonna do it, guys. I apologize. I do apologize, but he ain't worth it. Just is not worth it. What is over there? Is that a lot of materials? I think it is. Nice little outcropping of rocks over here. Definitely some stuff that I normally don't get my hands on. The blue ones, I would have to say, though, are pretty much the most common in the area that I'm in. And I know some of you are like, no, I can never find these little blue ones. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I've played some maps where I can't find the silver ones for the life of me. I mean, I've gone... There was one map that I'm thinking of in particular. We traveled, I think, 2 hours, maybe 3 hours in one direction, looking for any type of resources, and all we ever found were trees. I mean, it was literally that ridiculous that we just couldn't find anything that we were looking for. Other maps, you'll find everything is like right next to you when you first start. It's kind of like a crapshoot, guys. You get what you get, and sometimes you get very lucky, and other times not so lucky. So, yeah, if you happen to start on a map where there's just no resources to be had, you may seriously consider, starting over on another map. It sucks. It sucks really bad when you can't find any resources. There's so many things you can use this stuff for, and if you get to the point where you just, you can't make anything because you just can't find anything, then you really kind of hampered your playthrough. Yeah, of course, you could always find everything the old-fashioned way, or maybe not the old-fashioned way, but the surefire way of just going off and doing combat. That is always an option, but for those of you who have watched my playthroughs, you'll know that sometimes we find a lot of stuff off of bots. Other times we're missing that one key ingredient, that one. Like, there was one time where I couldn't find a shield bubble for the life of me. I could not find the shield bubble. I couldn't find a repair bubble. I found like batteries. I think on that playthrough found the big battery. So I had the small battery and the big battery, but I had nothing to use them on. And that was before they added the tutorial in there that allowed you to get those things for free, to be able to buy them in the shop, and you won't have to sit there and actually find them yourself. So before they had integrated that in there, which I'm glad they did, because there are a few items that are kind of key to the game and key to you being able to progress at a natural rate that doesn't just kind of suck, like it's going to take you forever like I did on that one level. So yeah, it's kind of nice to have that, ability in there now. But for that playthrough that I did, we didn't have that. And so I went around looking for it forever, and I just couldn't find it. But in a gameplay where you have resources, you can be like, okay, well, it's a pain in the butt to be able to make it. I may have to go off and look for, 20 minutes to find the ingredients that I need for it. But once I find it, now I have access to it, and I can just go ahead and buy more of them. So you only have to make one of them. And when you think about it that way, it's really not such a big deal to sit there and find the pieces for it and then sit there and make it, and have the, even if you have to drag each and every single one of the pieces in order to make sure that it makes that very specific item that you're looking for, still a lot quicker than going off and sometimes trying to find it yourself. Sometimes not so. I mean, you could definitely get into the game, and we found some pretty rare stuff, like right off the bat, like I was talking about with that Geocore battery. Sometimes those are really hard to find, but we found it, like, I think right off the bat, the very first mob that we came to, and we were like small, like we're tutorials small with like the 4 blocks or the 2 blocks and the 4 wheels and an item or two. And wow, we're getting a little bit of lag over here because of all the stuff I have on my bot right here. So we may have to go back and drop it off. But before we do that, I'm going to pick up a few more pieces and just see if I can crash my computer, apparently, because I don't know when to say enough is enough. But let's see if we can get back and get some of this stuff off of my bot, because, yeah, that is a significant amount of lag right there. But that's what I've warned you guys about. The more blocks you pick up, the more of these things they have to render, and we have a lot on there. We not only have the resources, but we have each and every one of those pieces that we picked up from the boss guy, or not the boss guy, but the mob out here that we killed earlier. So That stuff is having to be rendered. And anytime you have trees, if you go into like the forest biome, that's going to have to render each and every single one of the trees and all the resources that are there as well. So certain biomes will actually cause a little bit more lag. As you see, as we're getting out here to the salt flats, there are almost no trees whatsoever. The lag kind of cleared up a little bit. Now that we're getting closer to my base, and as we start picking up these things out here, the lag is going to kind of return back a little bit more. And let's see if we can snag all this stuff and bring it back over. You can see we're taking some damage. We're taking some damage by picking up these blocks, but yeah, we gotta have to do it, guys. We have to do it. And we'll be able to charge up pretty quickly. I put a lot of wireless chargers on my base over here, so it really doesn't take too long once we get back to it to be able to say, okay, let's charge up, and then it's done. Like literally on one side, I have like 15 wireless chargers on there now. And when I go back there, just, look at that, dropped it out there in the distance, so close to my base. But thankfully, it's a small bot, so I don't think we have to be too worried about that. Let's come out here, and we're going to see if maybe we can get this to snag these pieces off of us by dropping them on the ground. Now, I space them out this way just so situations like this, when I drop this stuff onto the ground, by removing these receivers, they wouldn't be picked back up. But if you guys know a better method of having this work the way we kind of want it to work, you definitely let me know that. I haven't been able to figure out a better method than this at the moment, but you know, it shouldn't be too difficult to kind of play around with it and get it to work a little bit better. Now this part right here may be a little tricky, because as I drop this one down, the one on the left may pick the stuff up. Actually doesn't seem like it is, so that's good. We may have to put this one over on the side, because as I drop this one down, that one over on the left is definitely going to pick it up, yeah. Okay, so that one picked it up. Now if I turn it over this way, we'll go ahead and get this last corner piece, and this one should be fine to have all that stuff picked up. And this is so much easier than dragging this, you know, this little device around and waiting for each and every single time for it to get placed and, you know, start charging up and get ready to, you know, pick the pieces up. And sometimes, you know, these things are spread out all over the place, that it just really isn't efficient to do that way. Now, one thing I would say is I went into my item menu and I picked up a few of the large, what do you call them, the large fuel tanks. And for some reason, there was only 2 of them actually in my inventory when I got back to the base. So I don't know what that means. I know I picked up a lot more than that, and yet only 2 of them actually showed up because this thing picked it up. So, you know, sometimes it picks things up and it doesn't register, and other times it picks things up and it registers just fine. So I don't know what the quirks is on that one, why sometimes it does work and sometimes it doesn't, but just be aware of that. It's going to be a thing, guys, and there's not much you can do about it. You just kind of have to be aware and say, okay, if I really, really need that item, or if I know I'm going to be using that item here in the future to create a new bot or something like that, I may not want to risk it. It just may not be worth it for you. So yeah, definitely just kind of watch out for that. Oh man, this is gonna make this area so dirty yet again. Oh, he's coming right for me. And you know what? I have all these fuel tanks on the top of my bot, which is just ridiculous. Like, I don't need them there, and one of them is almost ready to explode. So let me toss these things off. I don't need these things here, and we can always buy more. So this is it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought those things were going to disappear and we wouldn't have access to them, but we definitely have access to those things now. So that was just silly of me to keep them there. That was an accident waiting to happen. I've done it before. In fact, this guy looks like he actually has a fuel tank on the back of his bot right there that's about ready to explode if I hit it just right. Oh, look at that. Can of whoop 2. I guess he couldn't use the full name of what he wanted with that. Can we pick that up? No, it's about to explode. Well, we've already had one of those, so that's not too big of a deal. Let's come out here and destroy this guy. Actually, I think that's a base, isn't it? So they dropped off a couple more bases. Well, that's definitely worth it for me to check it out, because you just never know if there's going to be something there. I mean, last time we came over here in this direction, there were some really, really good items. They got that grade 3 fabricator. You found an enemy base. Yes, I did. There's an enemy there. What does he have on him? I don't think he has anything we don't already have. There we go. We're destroying them. You got to remember, these things don't always have to fire straight. They do kind of aim at the mobs. Although that one doesn't seem to want to aim anywhere else other than straight at the moment. There we go. You are dead, punk. Let's see. This one? No, I don't think there's anything there. Right? Yeah, we have all of this. Holy crap. Yep, that would be a small tank. That's what he named it, a small tank. Well, it's not too bad of a name. That's actually kind of apt right there. It does look like a little tank, and he definitely has the stuff on him. Ooh, that does look like that might have a couple items on there we have not seen before, like this large storage unit right here. We don't have this one. It's a large silo, GSO, lots of silo, 9 spots on that. That's something we don't have. We're definitely going to go with this this receiver. We do know how to make those now, but if you put those inside the that little box thing that picks everything up for you, you will lose it. So don't put that in there. Same thing with this grade 3 fabricator. Don't put that in there either. You will lose that and you won't be able to get it back out again. Let's see. What about these things? What are these? They are GSO Foundry, and this is a fabricator, I believe, right? I mean, look at that. Refinery. Okay, so I don't think I messed with the foundries, though. That's something that we're going to have to look at, because I don't think I really, yeah, I don't think I messed with that as much as I should have. Don't know what that does. I have to read the description on it. There's a mob out here. Should I kill it? Yeah, I guess we will. There's some pieces out here I want to come over here and pick up so that I can start working on my castle. I've told you guys my idea behind that, and it's going to be a castle that my base is kind of functioning inside, and my guys will be able to go inside and pick that stuff, or not go inside and pick the stuff up, but just drive inside of the base itself, and yeah, just kind of have a place where they can, like, I don't know if you can close the door. There's like no mechanics in the game that are like that, but at least you'll be able to drive inside of it. Is this another bad guy? It must be. It must be another bad guy, because that's not my guy right there. And let's see if we can destroy him. I mean, yeah, of course we're going to be able to, but geez, man, there's going to be so much junk out here. I tell you, once you get started, you really never get finished. It just keeps going more and more and more. Oh, come on. Let me do my boosters. Let's get out of here. He's doing some damage to me. Oh, man, look at that, guys. We're still healing up even after we've been out of combat. And look at the lag. Look at the lag. This is something real. We need to come out here and clean this stuff up before it gets too bad. There we go. We're hitting them. Oh, we're hitting them a little bit, but we're getting too much lag. Too much lag to really be able to keep up with this. Wow, look at that. He's doing some damage. This guy, I think, is best taken head on. If you don't take him head on, it seems like he will just sit here and wreck you, because he has those cannons on him that go right through your shield so easily. There he is. He's finally dead. Wow. What did we lose on that one? Did we lose anything? No, we actually didn't lose any blocks, it looks like. Holy crap, so much stuff. So much stuff. Okay, let's bring this guy back to charge up, get him in position. We'll park him over here to the side so he's not in the way. And this guy, come on, you can do it. Come over. Let me click on you. Come on. So many things on the map. It does kind of interfere, from what I've noticed, with being able to click on another bot and take control over it. Come on, guys. You know you want to let me do it. Oh, come on. I know you have a lot of stuff on. You're going to make me get right up on top of it, aren't you? All right, we're going to get right up on top of it if we can. Let's zoom down right over here somewhere. Let's see. Come on, let me take control. I don't care where I click. Any block on this thing will let you take it over. Just be careful that you don't click and then drag at the same time, because if you do that, you're going to have it where you're going to take stuff off of the bot. And, that's always a bad thing. Sometimes it doesn't give you the undo button. The undo button is one of the greatest things ever, but sometimes it's not there. And that really sucks, because if you take a vital piece off of your bot and say you have to try to put that back. Come on, you guys, oh, geez, what is the problem? Well, I already know what the problem is. There's just too many blocks on the map, but should be another button. I mean, I don't really like using the keyboard, but it would be really nice if there was another button I could hold down or press or something that would allow me to take over the next tank next to me, or the next thing. Let me actually look at the options. There might actually be a button for that. Controls. Come on, go into controls. Attach, detach block, no. Camera angle, cycle block orientation, G and F. Don't ever want to use that. Let's see. Camera, rotate camera, fire all, take screenshot, no. So there is nothing that will allow me to go from one bot to the next in your arsenal. Definitely should be. Come on, it can't be that difficult. Really? You guys are gonna make me work for it. All right, you know what we're going to do? We're going to put down a bot of our own that is literally just one block. And if this doesn't work, then they are going to... I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. If it won't even let us take this over. Come on. It's only one. It's just a cab. Like, how can you not click on the cab and be like, let me take it over? Come on. Oh, my God. Guys. Guys, this is like broken. It won't work. It won't let me in. It won't let me in. There's too much stuff. And I can't take the stuff out until I pick more stuff. Oh, jeez. Okay, guys. You know what? We're going to go ahead and end the episode here, apparently, because I cannot, for the life of me, get inside any of my bots. So I'm going to end the episode. In fact, maybe we won't. Maybe, let's see if this works. We're going to save and quit. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and save and quit. Get back into the main screen, and then we'll come back into the game, hoping that will actually fix it. I don't know if it will, hoping that it will. But if it doesn't, then I'll have to exit out of the game completely, and then we will have to end the episode to see if that will allow me to at least take over a bot. Look at all the stuff it's trying to load. You can hear it in the background. It's like shooting the engines. Yeah, it definitely has its hands full here. Okay, let me back it up. Where is that little dude? All right, come on. Let me take him over. Let me take him over. Come on. Unbelievable. This is still not going to work. Still not going to allow me to take any of these bots over. This is just ridiculous. But, you know, we do kind of overload it at times, and I think I did go a little bit insane with how many items I picked up out there, so I'm partly to blame on that one. I'll take responsibility. But guys, I want to thank you all again for watching. If you do enjoy these videos, be sure hit that like button, subscribe. Definitely helps grow the channel, and I greatly appreciate it. But more than that, I want to hear your comments. I want to know if you've run into problems like this in the past, or you know, in the present. If you guys are still running into problems like this, it's definitely kind of interesting to find out. And I will definitely catch you all next time.